by creating more jobs in the district. But you know what? If you created less and you lowered their taxes, private enterprise would create 5 times more jobs than government ever could. Let me give you my best example. I based my whole campaign on this, okay? A friend of mine is in the Wall Street business, meaning he invests people's money on Wall Street. He runs the Congressional Effect Fund. His fund invests based on his research. Over the last half century, when Congress is in session, the stock market goes up 1%. When Congress is not in session, the stock market is up 17.6%. Government, whether they want to or not, is stupid, is evil, is wasteful, it makes no sense. All they do is create damage for the people. You're looking at the one guy in the world who's running to make himself obsolete. I want to get elected, I want to spend 8 years making government obsolete, make it smaller, get it out of people's lives, and then when the 8 years are up, I don't want to be a career politician. I'm running for office with a gun to my head. I'm doing it because my children and my grandchildren someday will need it. But the truth is, I don't want to be a politician. I can't take the pay cut. I don't want to go to DC. I want to go there for 8 years and then come home to my family and come home to my business. I just want to go there so I can start the process of giving the power back to the people.
All right, well, another hot button issue.
Yeah.
Orange County.
Hot Bush issue, you always say, huh?
Excuse me.
George Bush
hot
on the line,
button issue. Sorry. Immigration.
Yeah.
What would the bar route solution to immigration be?
There are some issues that are so complicated, there is no easy answer that will make everyone happy. So I'm going to give you an answer that makes no one happy. I'm going to give you an answer on both sides of the issue. There are people out there that are rabidly anti-immigration. I'm not one of them. There are people out there that are rabidly seem to be pro-immigration. There are libertarians that believe in open borders. I'm not one of them. I'm someone who believes, first of all, you have to get control of the border. No matter who's here now, that's fine. That's ancient history. You can't allow millions more to come over the border who could bankrupt the entire United States of America because of their needs for medical, housing, college education, social security, education, you name the things that are being overrun, emergency rooms, schools. We can't allow people to come in without knowing who's coming in. And it's not fair to the people that are already here. It's not fair to the legal immigrants to let someone jump the line. And worst of all, it's a terrorism issue. You got to know who's coming across your border. You got to know if they're free of disease. Are they criminals? Are they leaving for a criminal reason? Are they terrorists? Do they have any associations with known terrorists? So first of all, you've got to control the border. So it stops. Then the problem is under control. Second of all, you got to make sure that there is no more government entitlements for people who come here illegally, because I don't want government entitlements for people who are born here either. I don't think people should be born to go on welfare. You got to work for yourself unless a tragedy happens. If you're sick, if you're born with some sort of illness or disease, that's a whole different story. But if you're able-bodied, it's not government's job to take care of you. If it is to be, it's up to me. It's your job to take care of you. So certainly we can't encourage people to come over the border who want all these government subsidies that will bankrupt a state like California. So you got to get control of the entitlements. Now, once you've done those two, those are the two me and Bob Barr agree on. Get control of the border and make sure that you eliminate entitlements for someone who comes here illegally. Now, we need a national debate what to do, how to handle those who are already here. My personal opinion, I'm not speaking for Bob Barr, I want a clear pathway to citizenship for those who are already here. I have no interest as a libertarian in a new organization that's like the Gestapo that knocks on people's doors in the middle of the night and says, you're heading back to Mexico and I don't care if your kids are legal citizens, they're staying here, we're separating you from your children. I don't want that. We have to find a way to make those people that are already here Americans. And so I want a pathway to citizenship. I'm speaking for myself now. I don't know Bob Barr's opinion on that. I think Bob and I agree on the first two I know, and I think on that issue, we both agree there needs to be a national debate what to do with those who are already here. We have to find a way to assimilate them into American culture.
All right,
that's my immigration answer.
Well thought out. Like the national
and complicated answers.
Yes,
it's a complicated
it is. No,
question.
it is a very
there are no
issue.
simple answers to some questions.
Especially in Orange County, we all have friends or people that we know that know someone that has an immigration problem, as we like to say.
Correct. And I think, realistically, I think we're going to need to increase immigration legally, meaning HB1 visas, we're going to have to open up to more and more people. If you're talented, you're skilled, you're educated, and they need you in Silicon Valley, let millions more in. I think it was Mitt Romney. I'll praise Mitt Romney on something. Mitt Romney's the one who once said, America makes no sense. We let millions of people who are poor and uneducated that need government help, are going to drain our resources. We let them in. And when you're educated and skilled, we keep you out. So you got to increase the visas for people who are talented and skilled and needed, and for all the other jobs in this country, by the way, that undocumented people do that we don't have anyone here to do them. That's a fact. I think we need to have temporary work permits, work visas for those people as well. So as there's a need, I think we let in more and more people legally, but just make sure you know who's coming across your border. Okay.
And what would you do about the education crisis? You know,
Well,
I mean, California was big with the homeschooling.
you know, I'm a homeschool dad. I have 4 kids, and my wife and I homeschool the kids. And I would say this about the education crisis: as a businessman, there's no other industry in the world that says we have a problem, we have a crisis, let's eliminate all competition, that'll end the crisis. There's no competition because these teachers' unions don't allow competition. The fastest way to end this crisis is to allow, on a state level, vouchers so you can choose to take your tax money as a parent and you have control over your own kid's future, and you can choose, instead of putting that into a public school, private school, charter school, parochial school, homeschooling, whatever the option is. That's the best way. Give people choice. Not only will that lead to a better education for those kids, many of whom I believe, it's a crime. Minority kids are not being educated in this country. In inner cities and public schools, it's a disaster. It's a crime what's happening to them. They are failures. There is no other way to put it. I'm the only candidate who will say it right to your face. Public school education system, a dramatic failure in this country. It's a giant babysitting propaganda camp. That's all it is. The state of California said it out clear. The judge said, why do we need public schools? Because we want to brainwash the kids. That's almost word for word what he said. We have to teach them patriotism and loyalty to the state, and only a state-certified teacher can teach them that. Funny, my daughter's 16 and she's applying to Harvard and Stanford, and she's a world-class fencer who's fluent in multiple languages, and she's been homeschooled. She didn't need a state-certified teacher to teach her any of that. Isn't that funny? You don't need it. And then all the other kids in Vegas, they're in 12th grade and they're failing the simplest exam to get out of 12th grade in Vegas public schools. So I guess those teachers didn't do a very good job of teaching patriotism. Or maybe they taught patriotism to the detriment of reading, writing, and arithmetic. So I would say the answer is give people choice, and that's the best for the kids, and then the choice, quite naturally, will lead to competition, and the public school system will get better. Because I'm not a guy who's looking to eliminate the public school system. We all know it's needed. We all know that kids cannot all afford private school and homeschooling, or their parents aren't capable of doing it. So we need a public school system, but the only way to make it better is to give it competition and to force public school teachers unions to fire teachers who are doing a lousy job. They should not have jobs for life. I don't have a job for life. Why should anyone else have a job for life? Fire those who don't perform, and for those who are doing a great job, give them double the salary, and watch how well teaching turns into a good profession.
Right.
That's my answer.
All right, now I'd like to give you an opportunity to dispel some of these myths and over-exaggerations about the Libertarian Party.
Sure, go ahead.
Gold standard.